I'm Les, Adult Programming Librarian at Jessamine County Public Library, and today we're going to make this tin can robot. For this project, you'll need several cans. A large paint can will work well for the body, but any kind of can is useful. Soda cans, bean cans, tuna cans, whatever you like. You'll need some construction adhesive, some spray paint in different colors. Metallics work exceptionally well. You'll need nuts and bolts, maybe drawer handles, any little metal parts that look like they might belong on a robot. You'll probably need screwdrivers and screws and an electric drill. You might need a sanding sponge to clean off your cans and get the paint or goo off of them. Let's get going. Next, arrange your pieces in the way you think you want your robot to look. You'll have to decide for each piece how it will be attached. Things that lay directly flat on top of one another and that aren't structural can be put on with construction adhesive. Anything that's going to stick out to the side or bear weight probably needs to be put on with nuts and bolts, and you'll need to figure out how you're going to drill holes. Before you attach your pieces, you want to get them all spray painted the color that you want them. If your piece is exceptionally shiny, you might want to rough it up with sandpaper first. Make sure it's clean and dry. If you're working with soda cans, you might have to take a can opener and remove the tab side of your can. Once you remove the top off soda cans, you'll find that you can cut them easily with scissors. And you can cut them into shapes that you can attach by folding pieces of metal up like so. To attach the legs to the bottom of my robot, I'm going to use 2 can lids and bolts. Bolt these to the bottom of the paint can and then use construction adhesive to glue the legs into the lids. After his legs dried, it looked to me like he needed a little more stability, so I'm going to create some wood feet for the bottom. We'll flip our robot over. I'm going to go ahead and put more construction adhesive along the edge here. Then we're going to affix his feet where we want them, drill down into the can. Now he has some wood feet and he looks pretty stable. It's time for arms. For my arms, I found the hooks that hold curtain rods and a piece of a paint stick. I drilled a hole in the end of my paint stick and a hole in the side of the can. There was already a hole in the side of my can, so I just made it bigger. This was where the wire originally went in for the handle of the paint can. And we're just going to bolt his arms in. Before I do his head, I have one last embellishment that I'd like to mount in the middle of my robot. This is a door lock I found. On the back, though, it's got kind of a large protrusion that will keep it from laying flat. So first I'm going to drill a big hole for that protrusion to set in, and then I'm going to drill a couple tiny holes for screws and mount that on there. For my robot's face, I've found some drawer pulls that you can use as ears. I found bolts that I painted blue that I'll put on these washers for his eyes. And I'm going to take the top where the tab was of a tin can and cut it into a little mouth. And you can do this with scissors. So, cuts very easily. Now I'm going to pop 2 holes in here, and I'm going to insert these little tacks I found and painted pink so that he can have cheeks. Instead of trying to drill this really thin material, I'm just going to use a hammer and nail to pop a little hole. So here will be his little mouth. We'll drill holes in the can wherever we want our pieces to go, and then we'll use nuts to put on the back of our bolts to hold them on. Next, we're going to mount the robot's neck, the bottom of his head, and the top of his body. And we're going to do this by running one long bolt through all three of these pieces and screwing them together. Once you have his neck assembly together, you can just tap the lid back on the paint. Now his head, we will put a little construction adhesive on before we seal it down. And the last part of my robot will be his antenna, which is really a towel holder that I had. And both of those parts go on with construction adhesive, so we'll do that and our robot will be done. Here's our finished robot. Mine's going to be a door greeter. Thanks for crafting with us today. If you'd like to see more crafty videos, check out the JCPL YouTube page.